What if the very thing you're chasing so desperately is running away because you're trying too hard to grab it? Pause for a second and really sit with that. Think about your goals, your love life, your dreams, the life you keep visualizing late at night. What if the secret to manifesting all of it isn't force, pressure, or obsession, but relaxation? Before we go any further, if you're someone who wants calm confidence, emotional strength, and a powerful love life built on self-respect, make sure you subscribe to this channel and like this video. And I really want you to watch this video till the very end, because what you're about to hear can genuinely change the way you build relationships, attract love, and move through life. Now let me take you somewhere far away in time. Imagine ancient Rome, war drums in the distance, political chaos everywhere, betrayals, sickness, death, uncertainty. And in the middle of all this sits a man with absolute power, an emperor. Yet he writes in his private journal words, not about conquering others, but about conquering himself. His name was Marcus Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius ruled one of the greatest empires in history, but his greatest battles were internal. And what's fascinating is this. Despite having every reason to be anxious, angry, or fearful, he kept returning to one simple idea: inner calm. Marcus never talked about manifestation the way modern gurus do. No vision boards, no affirmations shouted in the mirror. But his philosophy quietly reveals a deeper truth. When you relax your need to control outcomes, life starts moving in your favor. Let me explain. Most people today are exhausted, not because life is hard, but because they're mentally fighting reality all day long. They want love, but they fear rejection. They want success, but they fear failure. They want respect, but they crave approval. So they push, chase, overthink, and stress. And the more they do that, the further their desires seem to move away. Marcus Aurelius warned against this centuries ago. He said that if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your judgment about it. And this judgment, he said, you have the power to revoke at any moment. This is where relaxation begins. Relaxation in Stoic philosophy doesn't mean laziness. It doesn't mean giving up. It means releasing your emotional dependency on outcomes. Think about a time when you really wanted someone to like you. You probably overthought every message. You waited anxiously for replies. You tried to say the perfect thing. And ironically, that tension made you less attractive. Now think about a time when you didn't care much. You were calm, natural, present, and somehow people were drawn to you. That's not a coincidence. Marcus Aurelius understood human nature deeply. He knew that desperation repels, while grounded calm attracts. When you are relaxed, you're no longer negotiating with life from a place of need. You're moving from strength. Let me tell you a story. There was a young Roman officer serving under Marcus Aurelius. He was ambitious, talented, and constantly anxious. He wanted recognition. He wanted promotion. He wanted to be seen. But the more he tried to impress, the more mistakes he made. His mind was always racing ahead, imagining praise or fearing criticism. One day, after a failure on the battlefield, not a physical defeat, but a strategic mistake, the officer was summoned by the emperor. He expected punishment. Instead, Marcus asked him a simple question. "Why are you in such a hurry?" The officer didn't understand. Marcus continued, "A man who rushes toward outcomes loses command of himself. And a man who loses command of himself cannot command anything else." That moment stayed with the officer forever. This is the heart of Stoic manifestation. When you relax, you reclaim self-command. And self-command is magnetic. In love, this is everything. Most people try to manifest love by thinking about it constantly. They analyze every interaction. They replay conversations. They imagine future heartbreaks that haven't happened yet. This mental noise creates emotional tension. Marcus Aurelius would say, "You're suffering more in imagination than in reality." Stoicism teaches that attachment to outcomes is the root of anxiety. When you need someone to love you to feel whole, you give them power over your peace. And paradoxically, that energy pushes them away. Relaxation breaks this cycle. When you relax, you stop chasing validation. You start enjoying presence. You listen instead of performing. You speak honestly instead of strategically, and this authenticity creates deep attraction. Marcus wrote that the best revenge is to be unlike the one who harmed you. But there's another layer to this. The best attraction is to be unbothered by the outcome. This doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care without clinging, and that difference changes everything. Let's talk about manifestation more directly. Modern manifestation culture tells you to visualize, affirm, and believe harder. Stoicism takes a different route. Marcus Aurelius taught that your job is to focus on what is within your control, your thoughts, your actions, your character, and release anxiety about what is not. Here's the paradox. When you stop obsessing over results and start embodying the person who deserves those results, life aligns naturally. Relaxation creates space. Space allows clarity. Clarity leads to aligned action. Aligned action produces results. Think of a skilled archer. If his hand shakes with anxiety about hitting the target, he misses. If he relaxes, breathes, and trusts his training, the arrow flies true. Marcus Aurelius lived this principle daily. Despite plagues, wars, and betrayal, he returned again and again to calm acceptance. Not passive acceptance, but grounded readiness. This is why relaxation is powerful. It removes resistance. In love, resistance looks like fear of loss. In success, resistance looks like fear of failure. In life, resistance looks like wishing reality were different. Marcus would say, accept what is, act with virtue, and trust the unfolding. Now let me bring this closer to your life. Right now, there's something you want badly. Maybe it's love. Maybe it's respect. Maybe it's a better version of yourself. Ask yourself honestly, are you relaxed about it or tense? Because tension signals lack, and lack attracts more lack. Relaxation signals abundance, and abundance attracts opportunity. This doesn't mean sitting back and doing nothing. Marcus Aurelius was one of the hardest working men in history, but internally he was calm. He once wrote that you should do your work like a Roman, steadily, calmly, without complaining or drama. Imagine approaching your love life like that. You show up. You're honest. You're kind. You're present. But you're not begging life to give you something. You're not afraid of silence. You're not afraid of rejection. That calm confidence is rare, and rarity attracts. Let me tell you another story. There was a woman in Rome who caught the attention of many men, not because she was the most beautiful, but because she was the most composed. She didn't rush conversations. She didn't chase attention. She listened deeply, and she walked away from disrespect without drama. When asked about her secret, she said something very stoic. I do not need anyone to complete me. I only allow those who add peace. That mindset is relaxation in action, and Marcus Aurelius would approve. He believed that a person at peace with themselves is unconquerable. Now think about how this applies to manifestation. When you're relaxed, you stop sending desperate signals to the world. You stop trying to force timelines. You stop comparing your path to others. You trust. Trust doesn't mean blind hope. It means confidence in your ability to handle whatever comes. Marcus Aurelius said you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. And strength is deeply attractive. Strength manifests opportunities. Strength shapes destiny. Here's something most people don't realize. Manifestation doesn't respond to words. It responds to state. Your emotional state broadcasts constantly. An anxious state broadcasts scarcity. A relaxed state broadcasts security. Security attracts love, respect, and opportunity. This is why Stoicism is so powerful today. In a world addicted to noise, urgency, and emotional chaos, calm is revolutionary. When you relax, you stand out. When you relax, you see clearly. When you relax, you stop sabotaging yourself. Marcus Aurelius didn't try to control the future. He prepared his character, and that preparation made him unstoppable. So how do you practice this? You start by catching yourself when you're mentally gripping outcomes. You notice when your happiness depends on a reply, a result, a reaction, and you gently release it. You remind yourself, I will act with integrity, I will show up fully, and I will let go of what I cannot control. This shift alone can transform your love life. Because when you're not afraid of losing someone, you stop tolerating what diminishes you. When you're relaxed, you choose better, and better choices lead to better results. Marcus Aurelius once wrote that the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Relaxation improves the quality of your thoughts, and improved thoughts create improved realities. This is Stoic manifestation, not chasing, not forcing, but aligning. So the next time you feel anxious about love, success, or the future, remember this ancient wisdom. Relax, not because you've given up, but because you trust yourself. Relax, not because nothing matters, but because you understand what truly does. Relax, and let your actions speak louder than your worries. Because when you embody calm strength, life responds differently to you. And with that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.